All right, you guys, I'm trying out something a little bit different today. I am giving myself a little bit of space, and I've repositioned the camera for a different angle in the basement. I've got an unboxing and a review for you today of the Genki Covert Dock. This is for the Nintendo Switch, and as we all know, the Switch, if you buy the one that is the hybrid system, not the Switch Lite, you will get a dock included in the package, which will hook up to a television set, but it's not the best dock to travel with, and Genki decided that there is something that they can do, so they've created the Covert Dock, which retails for about $75 US, and I think you can pick it up on Kickstarter, and there's probably a few retailers out there that you can score this thing right now. I have actually taken one of these on the road and have been very, very impressed. So let's open this up, and I'll tell you about my experience with the Covert Dock in a second here. But let's see what's in the package. They've got some pretty cool artwork. One thing I like about the Genki stuff that I've reviewed is that they certainly love to celebrate the medium of video games with great art and sort of demo illustrations to show you what's in the box and how to use it and why they created it, which is pretty cool. I have a kickstand for my Switch, which I've used before from Genki, which I really like. I've taken that on trips. Okay, so the top part of the box is, I guess it's your instructions. Let's open that up right here. Oh, and it's it's one of the cables. Okay, so we have a, this is a very handy cable. It has an elbow for the USB-C connector, and there's a USB-C on either end, so this goes into the Covert Dock, and this is the USB-C that plugs into the bottom of the Switch, so you just have to find some way to stand up your Switch, plug this into the bottom, plug this into your Covert Dock, and you can broadcast to a television set. Now, let me show you how cool this thing is. This is the whole heart of the matter right here. This is all the guts and the brains of the Covert Dock. It's not very big. It looks like pretty much just any standard USB plug that you would plug a device into. But this actually has an HDMI port. It has a standard USB, it's probably a 3.0, but it's a standard USB connector. And then it's got a USB 3 mini port, so you can plug in one of the sides of this USB-C cable, and the other side will plug into the Nintendo Switch. Boom, like so, and then you take your HDMI cable and you plug it into a television set, and that's all you need. You just plug that into a wall socket, and you are broadcasting to a television off of your Nintendo Switch, and it's this big, so you can easily put that into the travel compartment of whatever you're packing along with you, and your Switch becomes a device that you can play on the big screen, which I love. You also get some plugs for different parts of the world. This one's for the UK, which is great, so you don't have to get a travel adapter for this particular device. This one's for the EU, and I guess this would be other parts of the EU. This is maybe Australia or something. It's the twisty plugs that can go into wall sockets for that kind of deal. Okay, and that's it. It's very simple. Doesn't come with an HDMI cable, but you probably got one or two of those hanging around. You probably have the one that you've got your Switch hooked up to. So how does this work? And I'll tell you how I ended up working and using this. We actually went on a little family road trip. I talked about it in one of my previous videos. We went camping. I checked out a beautiful gaming laptop while I was camping, which was just so indulgent. But along the way, because it was quite far into the middle of nowhere, which was great, we were very isolated while we were camping, and there was no TV set there, by the way, for me to hook up the Nintendo Switch to a big TV set. But we had to stop off at a couple of hotels along the way, and one of them wasn't I forgot an HDMI cable, of course I did, but one of them actually happened to have an HDMI cable that I unplugged from a source, and I plugged it into the Covert Dock, and I was playing Super Nintendo games on my Nintendo Switch on the big screen, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I got to tell you, I have been traveling with the Nintendo Switch quite a bit since it came out in 2017, and I have taken that dock with me on the road. I like to, I'm one of the Switch players that prefers to see it all on the big screen. I do play in handheld mode when I'm on the airplanes and stuff, but I really do like the full screen experiences that a lot of Nintendo Switch games provide. And a big part of my job has been, up until 2020, to hit the road and to go to different events, go to E3 and Comic-Con and PAX and all the gaming, preview events and things like that I've been very, very, extraordinarily fortunate to be able to do for a very long time. But I have grown accustomed to bringing consoles with me, and, pre the Switch, I would actually have to bring the full-size game consoles with me on the road, because production on Reviews on the Run doesn't stop while I'm traveling, and hence that's why it was called Reviews on the Run. We shoot it all over the place. So I have traveled with game systems for a long time, and I've had to do some crazy things to be able to get my video games broadcast onto televisions into hotel suites. But that became much easier with the Nintendo Switch, even with the standard dock, but it was still something that I was very concerned about squishing in my bag, and I certainly didn't want the edges of the standard Switch dock to cave in a little bit, and then it would scratch my Switch console as I was putting it into the dock. That's been one of my concerns so far. So good, knock on wood. But I was very, very intrigued when I heard that this was being made by Genki, and when the Genki folks reached out to me and said, would you like to review one of these? I said, yes, for sure. And I have to tell you, it is probably one of the best things that you can pick up for the Nintendo Switch, although you might not need it in 2020 because we're not really doing all that much traveling right now, are we? But the day will come when you will hit the road with your Nintendo Switch and maybe an extra controller or something, and you'll be traveling with friends, or you'll be meeting up with friends, and you'll want to have this stowed away in a backpack or some kind of travel bag or something like that. You'll be able to pull that out right away and get into Mario Kart matches, or get into some multiplayer goodness, or just indulge, on a big flat screen TV in a hotel in the middle of nowhere and play the Switch titles to your heart's content on the big screen. And for that, I think this is a fantastic get. It's, honestly, a travel dock in some capacity just makes tremendous sense, and whether Nintendo had created one or not, Genki came to the rescue, and they've built a really rock solid, it couldn't be more stealthy little dock device here. So if you happen to be one of those Switch owners out there that likes to travel when you can travel with your machine, and have been trying to figure out ways to be able to hook it up to television sets without having to lug your regular dock along with you, this is the solution. I'm going to give the Genki Covert Dock a 9 out of 10.